Reading.
Listen and practice.
I got home a little late last night. It was actually my birthday, but I was too busy at work to plan anything. My friend borrowed my apartment key yesterday morning. He said he'd left something there a few days ago and wanted to pick it up. Anyway, when I got home, the place was totally dark. When I turned on the light, a whole bunch of my friends were there, and they all shouted, "Surprise! Happy birthday!"
Listen and practice.
Asia is the largest continent, and it has the largest population. 60% of the world's population, more than 4 billion people, lives in Asia. Next is Africa. 14% of the world's population lives in Africa. The population of this continent is growing faster than the population of any other continent in the world. Next is Europe. Europe has 12% of the world's population. However, the population of Europe is growing more slowly than any other continent. Next is North America, including Central America. This part of the world has 8% of the world's population. South America is next, with 6% of the population. Australia has the smallest percentage of the world's population, less than 1%. And what about Antarctica? Antarctica has no permanent human population.
Listen and practice.
Brian's stomach hurt, and he was sweating. His teacher sent him home early. He got on the bus and took the last seat. He was dizzy and wanted to throw up. An old woman walked slowly by the sitting passengers, but they all looked away. "Close your eyes," said a voice in Brian's head. "Pretend you're asleep." "That's not right," said a second voice. "Get up." "But he's sick and nobody else is moving," said the first voice. "Who will know?" "Brian will know. He'll get better soon, but this decision will last forever." Finally, Brian got up. He gave up his seat to the old woman. When he got off the bus, cameras flashed. The bus had hidden cameras. It was a TV show. The host interviewed Brian. He became famous.
Listen and practice.
We don't think much about plant roots. Why? We don't see them often. But roots are very important and do amazing things. Roots have two main jobs. One is keeping plants steady. Roots spread wide underground. They hold steady in the dirt, so plants don't fall down. And we can't pull them out easily. Roots also gather food and water. Do plants really eat food? Sure. They get food from the dirt and even store it. They get water that way too. That's very important for desert plants. Most plants compete for food and water, but some plants do something unusual. They don't just take in food and water. They share it. Many forest trees share food through their roots, but only with their own saplings. They never share with other plants.
Listen and practice.
Nature connects many things. Small changes often bring unexpected results. There's a popular story about this idea. Here's how it goes. In 1955, a Borneo tribe had a problem: malaria. Mosquitoes spread this disease, and it was dangerous. The tribe called the WHO. They suggested a solution: spray mosquito-killing chemicals. The tribe took the advice, and the mosquitoes died. But many other insects died too. Then lizards ate the sprayed insects. Cats ate the lizards, and the cats died. Without cats, the number of rats grew out of control. Now Borneo had a huge rat problem. To solve this, the UK dropped boxes of cats with parachutes. The cats killed the rats. Finally, things went back to normal. It's not clear how much of this story is true, but it's still a good example of how nature connects all life.
Listen and practice.
People give gifts for weddings for different reasons. Usually, people want to help the bride and groom. Many countries have their own customs. In the United States, both families give gifts to the couple. In other places, the customs are very different. In India, the groom's family asks for a large payment from the bride's family. The payment is called a dowry. Sometimes the payment is a special gift with a brand name. For example, some families ask for a Singer sewing machine or a Sony television set. Sometimes the payment is money. The money may be equal to the family's salary for 2 or 3 years. Both families agree about the money. They agree on how much money the bride's family can afford to pay. Some Indian families do not like to have many daughters. It is too expensive. Today in India, a woman with a large salary is the same as a woman with a large dowry. In the Middle East, the bride's family asks for a large amount of money from the groom. The gift is called a mahr. The mahr is money, and sometimes land or a home. In Saudi Arabia, the groom gives a lot of money. He buys clothes for the bride for 1 year and buys furniture for their new home. Rich couples get expensive gifts from both parents. The parents often give nice furniture or a new car. At one time in Saudi Arabia, the mahr for a bride was very, very high. Men could not afford to marry Saudi Arabian women. They married women from Lebanon and Egypt. This was bad for Saudi women. Soon, many Saudi women did not have husbands. The government made new rules. They made it hard to marry a foreigner. Another Middle Eastern country, Oman, had problems too. Soldiers in the army could not afford to get married. The Sultan of Oman made a law against large mahr payments. This helped couples in Oman to get married. A wedding is a very special and important time. People give gifts for different reasons, but one thing is the same. Everybody wants to help the bride and groom start a happy life together.
Listen and practice.
I really hate it when the person next to me on the bus talks on a cell phone nonstop. I don't want to listen to someone else's conversation. This morning, the woman next to me talked on a cell phone for the whole bus ride. I couldn't believe how rude she was.
Listen and practice.
When people feel stressed out, they can't be creative. So some companies help their employees to reduce their stress. They have free massages and yoga and exercise classes at work. These perks make employees feel relaxed, so they can be more creative in their work. Most employees enjoy these perks a lot. They also save money because everything is free, and they save time because they don't need to leave work. These are just a few of the unusual ways that creative companies are increasing their employees' creativity.
Listen and practice.
Look in your refrigerator. Where did all the food come from? Of course, it came from a farm or the ocean. You picked it up in the supermarket. But where was the farm? And which ocean? Most people don't know, but they should because their choices affect global warming. It's all about the distance your food travels. Transporting food burns fuel. The longer the distance, the more fuel it takes. Of course, burning fuel adds CO2 to the atmosphere. The CO2 traps heat from the sun, and that raises the Earth's temperatures. Scientists agree that this will cause environmental problems. Imported food uses the most fuel. Most of it travels by ship or airplane. Even food from your own country has to travel in trucks. The farther away it starts, the more fuel it uses. That's why many people look for locally grown food. Buying local food saves fuel. Also, it's fresher.
Listen and practice.
I would have to save my photo albums. They have all the photos of my kids when they were babies, their first steps, when they walked for the first time, their birthday parties, their first day at school, and all the holidays we spent together. All those memories are irreplaceable.